Changing your mindset can either be a profound awakening or a lifelong battle. You see, trying to understand everything and then trying to get control of your mindset is battling yourself. That's the world of motivation and belief. That is the ordinary world that we live within. A world that generated a multi-billion-dollar self-help apparatus where people continue to consume information in an effort to fix, change, overcome, and overpower their emotions. You hear terms like limiting beliefs and things like that. And notice how even knowing all of that stuff seems to make very, very little difference for you. Now, you see, this isn't just about believing in yourself, manifesting and creating arbitrarily glowing futures. You already do that already. Everything that you create as a goal is often the antithesis of what really is going on with you emotionally, where the things that you want in the future become symbolic of success, symbolic of stability and love. And so you create fantasy futures to help motivate yourself. But you see, as you accumulate failures, rejections, betrayals, you actually seem to increase your stuckness. And you keep going back to this thing about motivation, motivation, motivation. Mindset, 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 belief, belief, belief. And you want other people to believe, and you want more knowledge and more insight. You want to figure it out. But you see, it's actually the opposite. We have to start to disconnect the nonsensical rumination. We have to get you out of yourself. The truth is that the way that you find freedom and power is not by fighting yourself internally, not by just understanding yourself and all these emotional reactions you have that you're battling. You see, your emotions are not lining up with your potential. Your emotions are not lining up with your truths. Your emotions are misleading you, and you're having to analyze to compensate for these emotions that you would not have to analyze if it wasn't for these profound reactions that are determining every decision you make. That all of your choices are automatically framed in a fight or flight reaction that draws your consciousness into a yes or no, black or white, good or bad. You see, you're in a fight or flight reaction all the time, and your own emotions is your litmus test for truth. You think your feelings are real, and you use your feelings to make all your choices for you, and that's why you're stuck in patterns. That's why you argue. But you see, changing your mindset is going to have to go deeper. You're going to have to see that your emotions are on repeat. And while you can pump yourself up by inventing hopeful futures, you see, that's motivation. That's not inspiration. Inspiration comes when the veil is removed. You see, rather than motivating yourself to bulldoze through your fear of rejection, rather than having to believe in yourself first, rather than having to get everything perfect so that now you could approach life and have some kind of confidence or assurances. You see, why you want the assurances of future success as a motivational instrument is because you're so afraid of failure that you need to have enough motive to force yourself in the face of the gravity of your fears that is not going to go anywhere. See, that's the problem with motivation, is that those triggers, they don't go away because you got one success. They stay. They come with you. So you get that promotion and see, you thought your confidence would go up. Oh no, bigger life, more responsibilities, more bills, same exact feeling. And you could trace that all the way back to being 5 years of age. That this anxiety that's chasing you, your mind will trick you into thinking it'll go away someday. It's going to go away once you get caught up on this, once you take care of that. But this life keeps throwing you more things, throws them at you faster than you can pick them up. And so you're literally trying to get your ducks in a row all the time in some contingency agreement that says you'll be happy when you're successful. You'll be happy and lovable once you deserve it, once you're healed. But you see, you're trying to heal from and fix things that are not fixable or healable in this conventional approach that has not worked. Take a look at humanity. All the knowledge in psychology, all the self-help stuff in our society is tearing itself down. Okay? So all the knowledge that you think has helped you has only cocooned your past and buried your experiences, obscured your knowledge through the access of your first-person memories, where you would actually see that the common denominator in your life has been repetitive emotional triggers that have never had anything to do with life, except they force themselves to have something to do with life, because your fear of failure causes your failures. Your fear of abandonment causes your abandonments. Your fears of rejection cause the rejection. You see, the unenlightened mind will argue that. No, I was rejected. No. You interpreted something as a rejection. You experienced the rejection. Yes, it's a real experience. But if your consciousness pulls the rejection out of reality, not only do you lose the feeling of rejection, you lose the attachment and the anxiety. So now when you approach that person, your consciousness is set free to stop evaluating them from the risk of rejection and start to connect for the first time. When you really start to connect in life, you see some magic. You start really having power in your conversations. You really start to matter and make a difference. You start to exude leadership without the need of courage and confidence. Why don't you need confidence? Because the fear's gone. I want you to imagine when I say you don't need confidence, it's because you don't have a fear of failure. If you did not have the fear of failure, you don't have the anxiety of the potential failure. You're not attached to the outcome in terms of its meaning to you. And what does that do? Do you think that makes you less motivated? No. It makes you able to scale up. Suddenly, with your conscious mind available, you have more talent, creativity, leadership, and you will be a better, more efficient worker. You will not have the same anxiety attacks. You will not ruminate in your head. You will not get anxious when your boss calls you to the office. You will not get nervous before a first date. That job interview, you're just going to go kill it. Because the absence of the fear of failure and rejection means that those fears have vanished. When those fears vanish, that's enlightenment. And that's why enlightenment and transformation is so difficult for people to understand, because their minds has not been set free yet. Salvation, enlightenment, these things are real, but the ego cannot understand it because the ego only looks from its own point of view and is only analyzing things to help it win, to help it be successful, to get out of its situation. The ego creates the fears and all the attachments. And so this is not about saying that you have to give up on your dreams. No, this is about expanding your dreams within a new context of freedom, in a new context of making a difference, where you'll find how small your dreams were, that all the ambitions you think you have is a comfort zone to the future. You've been avoiding failures for so long that you believe yourself to have these inherent limitations because those limitations manifest as fear barriers. Like you think you really know yourself based on past experiences, but you don't account for how the fear manifested back then as well. That many of your failures, your grades in school, the things that went wrong in the past, you're using that to define you, but not using it to define the fear that's underneath. You see, so if we let go of this rejection, fear of failure, thought of being not good enough, it sets you free. And your ego does not want any part of that. You will not believe me when I say that the methodologies of my coaching only require one session, because we don't analyze you and you don't have to learn or memorize anything. We just get you out of rumination, back into the simple world of your own emotional experiences without all the complexities. And we just pull apart the prison bar by bar by acknowledging these underlying repetitive dynamics that are hidden from you because they become the view. The notion of you being not good enough is something that vanishes. vanishes.